Año Nuevo. Los mismos Extra Value Meals en McDonald's. Ahora te puedes llevar 2 snack wraps y papitas y una bebida mediana por solo $8. Solo por tiempo limitado. Precios y participación pueden variar. Los precios pueden ser más altos en Hawaii, Alaska y California y con entrega.
Reggie, I just sold my car online.
Let's go, Grandpa. Wait, you did?
Yep, on Carvana. Just put in the license plate, answered a few questions, got an offer in minutes. Easier than setting up that new digital picture frame.
You don't say.
Yeah, they're even picking it up tomorrow. Talk about fast.
Wow, way to go. So, about that picture frame.
Forget about it. Until Carvana makes one, I'm not interested.
Car selling made easy. On
Carvana.
pickup fees may apply.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Visit Blinds.com now for up to 45% off site-wide, plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions apply.
Anyways, so you got anything on your mind today?
Nothing in particular. What did we say we were going to talk about this week? I remember at the end of the show last week, we're like,
oh no, I know exactly what we said we were going to talk about, but something has completely engulfed my thoughts.
What, Epstein?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I can't deal with that brain rot right now, man. That's just too much.
I feel that.
This is so most likely going to be given up on the Patreon, right? Just full disclosure. I can't do it.
Right. Why not? What is it? Just the time or something or what?
Nah, man. I mean, I put a ton of effort into it, man. I do. And just not getting the bites that I'm looking for, right?
Well, you're looking for instant gratification, bro. It takes time.
No, I mean, I get it. Right? But I would much rather put the effort into the Archives project than into the Patreon project, where I can put out a season's worth of content, 10 episodes back to back to back, week after week after week, take a few months off, throw 10 more episodes out there, back to back to back to back, throw it out there, right? Instead of doing the Patreon thing, I just feel like I'm throwing it out there for nobody to listen to. That's a tough thing, right? We got Skeeter and Kid who listen to it, and thank you to them for subscribing. But I put a lot of time and effort into it, and when we did the solo documentaries here on Infinite Rabbit Hole, a lot of people listened to it, and I got a lot of good feedback, and I appreciated that, and it was worth the time and effort that I put into it for it. I'm missing out on that. I'm missing that itch that I'm getting from it. I want that feedback, right? Because the topic that I'm about to jump into is actually the very first topic that I've ever redid. So I'm going to revisit a topic that I did for prior. Not remaster. This isn't an Injured Cold thing where I just take the same script and do it fancier, right? With new music, cleaner audio, right? I'm completely redoing it. When I originally did it, it was, hey, I could do a lot more here, But for the sake of putting this into one episode, I had to cut this down. Now I'm not restricting myself at all, and I'm bringing a ton of evidence for this, and it has completely engulfed all of my attention. It's crazy, and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it so bad. And I know you never listened to the episode. I know you haven't.
If it makes you feel any better, bro, I don't really listen to any podcasts anymore. I used to listen to podcasts all the time, including ours. But I used to listen to myself. I used to listen to Shadow Band. Like, you know, I don't even listen to podcasts anymore, bro. It's a phase thing, bro. Right now I'm in like a more of a music phase. I've been listening to old, you know, metalcore from like the early 2000s. I've just been like, that's what I do when I'm in the car. I'm just singing Bullet for My Valentine and shit.
Oh, good stuff. I love Bullet for My Valentine.
Hell
love it. Skeeter's yelling for hints. Skeeter, I'm not even going to give you guys hints. I'm just going to give you the topic, right? But I'm going to be honest with you. I think you guys are going to be upset about it. But it is a topic that ever since I looked into it for the first time, I have been unable to peel myself away from it. It's been a topic that I just can't stop thinking about.
Spit it out already.
I just can't stop fucking thinking about it, man. I can't. The aquatic ape theory. I can't stop. I can't stop thinking about it, man. I can't.
Something never heard of.
Did she just say she never heard of it?
No, she said she thought it was going to be something that she never heard of.
Oh, man.
Literally the opposite.
I love it. I love the aquatic ape theory. I fucking love it. Right? So instead of taking on the topic of the aquatic ape theory head on today, I want to ask you a question.
All right.
Where did humans come from? Now I know the scientific answer. I know the religious answer, right? Give me the conspiracy answer. What is Jeffrey tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist Guy Fernandez think when it comes to the origin of the human race? Where did we come from, my friend?
So this is a deep one for me. And to be honest with you, I don't know. And I'm not even tied to a particular theory personally. This is one of those things where it's like, ask me tomorrow. It'll probably be a different answer, right?
Oh my gosh, I know, right? It's
but
so stupid.
You know what I mean? Honestly. But one of the ones that I've always it was always in the, you know, the back of my mind is like, let's just broad term it ancient astronaut theory, right?
Yeah.
The idea that whether it's beings from space or beings from underground or maybe even interdimensional or spiritual beings, I don't know, like something came here, I think, at some point and like tampered with the DNA of existing hominids and created us, right?
Man.
There's probably other shit that went on there as well, but that's just the basic.
Man, I used to think that, right? I used to think that when before I started Infinite Rabbit Hole and I really dove into the aquatic ape theory, or the aquatic ape hypothesis, as it's, you know, professionally referred to. I used
The Moore says all humans come from women.
That's true. He's not
Hell
wrong.
yeah, brother.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. That's the most correct answer we've got. Where is that? I should.
Oh, this is how you know you guys made it.
Oh, I got a progressive ad on our Twitch right now.
Commercials. This is how you know you made it.
We got commercials.
Oh, do we got commercials?
Commercials.
Oh man, does that mean we're getting paid now? Check that out. That's
like
weird.
A fraction of a penny per view or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Disney Plus.
Oh, well. Anyways, back to the conversation. Prior to doing the aquatic ape hypothesis, and prior, you know, this is back like 15, 20 years ago, Jeremy. I used to have these conversations like on the boat and stuff, thinking about, you know, the possibility of what could potentially be the origin of human beings. And man, I used to love the idea of, you know, like gray aliens, the reticulans coming down and breeding with monkeys and apes and stuff. And like, you look at our skin, right? we're fleshy. We're not hairy for the most part, right? We're semi-hairy, sort of, but we're fleshy. And you look at us compared to all of our ape cousins, our brethren, right? We look different. But if you look at the gray aliens, which are completely supposedly hairless, and you put them together, right? You take a gray alien, you take a, I don't know, like a gorilla or something, right? Or like a Australopithecus or Denisovan, something, some ancient ape, and you breed them together, what would the hybrid look like? Fuck. I mean, it'd probably look like us, be honest with you, right?
Yeah, that's not so much what I think about when I think about ancient astronauts or tampering with us in that way, as much as I think that it might be more so that something else, not even the grays, probably something else came and just tweaked the DNA, right? Like I remember seeing all this shit about like the I forget exactly, but like there's like a part of the DNA strand that looks like it's been fused or something, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And so, one of the things that really got me into conspiracy world back in the day was like the whole Zacharias Sitchin Anunnaki stories, right? That the Anunnaki came and created humans to be a slave race to mine gold so that they could spray the gold in their atmosphere to fucking help their planet, and they come back every 26,000 years and that kind of thing, and they were giants. Like that whole thing was one of the big catalysts for me to like get into conspiracy world, that and like 9/11 and a few other things. But so that's what I think. I don't think it was necessarily like breeding, right? I don't think it was like grays came and breeded with primate or anything like that. I think it was more like some even higher beings came, right? And some people will take that and say, hey, that, yeah, you're talking about like, spiritual beings or something. Could be the case. I don't know, but that's where my mind goes.
See, I used to run wild with this idea, man. We used to have some really fun conversations when deployed on the ship and stuff, just talking about this weird shit, just coming up with just some of the most out of left field craziness, man. Some of the ideas that people have thought about in their lives. If you just get somebody to just get comfortable talking to you, you'd be surprised what people have come up with on and just in their boredom. It's awesome. Or what they'll regurgitate from conversations past. But moving on, there's I don't know. Oh, I do know what it is about the aquatic ape hypothesis that really has me entangled in it. It's that I think that there's a really good possibility that it could be true. I really do. And we don't have nearly enough time tonight to dive into every single detail of it, but we could talk about a few of them. But what I really want to do, right, is because I have already talked about it before. I've put this episode out. People have heard it. They haven't heard it in the depth that I'm about to release come August on the Patreon. But they have heard it, right? They know the major talking points behind it. Why, if it is the case, if we did come from a semi-aquatic lifestyle and we evolved, a lot of our characteristics that we have now, our fleshy skin, our subdermis fat, right? We have fat layer right underneath our skin, which is unique to a lot of aquatic and semi-aquatic creatures. Why is it a secret? Why do they want to keep that information from us? Why is it that mainstream science wants to push the Savannah hypothesis? Why is it so important that they want us to learn that we came out of the trees into the most dangerous of territories, the African savanna, the prehistoric African savanna, into a world full of quadrupedal predators that run faster than us, that have better balance than us, that are better equipped to deal with the dangers of the African sun and the harsh weather, thermal regulation from their fur, panting. Yes, we sweat, but we also lose a ton of electrolytes, and we lose water very, very fast compared to all other creatures. Why is it that they push this narrative onto us and want to push us away from the idea that we could be semi-aquatic creatures, or that we could have evolved from semi-aquatic creatures?
So without getting into the specifics of the aquatic creatures part, my argument or my answer to that, I guess, would just be that they would, regardless of what the origin story is, or the truth of our origination is, or whatever the fucking word I'm looking for is, whether it's aquatic ape or Anunnaki or, God or whatever it is, my argument is that they just don't want us to know the truth about ourselves, regardless of what the truth is, right? Because it's easy for them to control our minds if we think that we have evolved from wherever they decide to tell us, and that we are currently at the pinnacle of human civilization. I think that is like the big box that they put us in. I don't know much about the aquatic ape theory, to be honest with you. We could definitely get into it, but that's just my initial reaction to what you just asked. Like, why would they hide this from us? Well, they would hide any truth of our creation from us,
I'm telling you, man, I get awed by a lot of topics, right? But there's not a lot of topics that literally grab me and are just like, hey man, you need to put your attention on this. There's only been three topics really that have just grasped my attention and refused to let go.
So give me like the brief, like 1 minute, just like super zoomed out version of the aquatic, like, because when you say this, my thought is like, what, did we evolve from some apes that live under the fucking ocean? Like, what are you saying here?
So the in a nutshell, right, without going into the scientific evidence of it,
just give me the
just to give you the right, in a span of 15 million years, okay, we have solid fossil evidence of quadrupedal apes or monkeys from around 11 million years ago. And then we also have a large gap known as the fossil record black hole of about 6 million years, 4 to 6 million years. And then right around the 4 to 5 million years ago, right when Lucy was found, Lucy the Australopithecus, we have a absolute plethora of different species of bipedal apes that are found. So we have a gap of about 4 to 5 million years or so, maybe even more, where there's absolutely very minimal fossil record of any ape activity whatsoever. So when people are referring to the missing link, they're talking about that fossil record black hole, right? So somewhere in that time frame, apes went from quadrupedal to being able to walk bipedally. Now, not necessarily being able to fully walk bipedally, but having the option to, right? So there is, as of right now, there's only one mammal in the world that walks bipedally full time, not part time, not most of the time, full time, and that's humans. Okay. There's also over 6,400 mammal species on this planet that we know of. Out of those, there's only 4 families with a total of about 9 major groups within those families that are completely hairless. And that includes, and I'm going to miss a few here, right? Whales, dolphins, elephants, rhinos, hippos, pigs, mole rats, and humans. Now, out of those, most of those are either aquatic, semi-aquatic, or we have fossil records proving that they evolved from semi-aquatic or aquatic animals. Now, I do want to stress that the aquatic ape hypothesis was incorrectly named. Okay, it should have been named the semi-aquatic ape hypothesis, because at no point does it ever state that they believe that we were like mermaids, where we just swam around with whales and dolphins.
So hold on, real.
They always tell you there's a catch, a compromise, an asterisk. Terms apply. See store for details. Maybe less than advertised. May vary by mood. Probably. Sprite Zero Sugar? It's different. It's the lemon lime flavored refreshment you want with zero sugar. So, no fast voice? No caveats. Just refreshment. This is Sprite Zero Sugar. Obey your thirst.
This episode is brought to you by Stouffer's. Here comes 3-time juggling champion Natalia Rogers. She's juggling law school, her TA job. Oh, narrowly catches the laundry. What's that fourth ball? Parents unexpectedly showed up at dinner time? Is that too much for Natalia? Not with Stouffer's Chicken Alfredo and its mouth-watering mix of Asiago, Romano, and Parmesan. When you're juggling 4 things at once and the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Quick. So this theory basically relies on some belief or some level of belief in evolution.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So I'm gonna set my
Mm-hmm.
disbelief of evolution aside for the sake of this conversation, but I just want to say up front, I'm kind of with the Moore here on the comment that he wrote. You know, I don't necessarily believe in evolution as we've been taught. So, but I'm going to set that aside.
So we should talk about that too, just for a brief second, because we've also talked about evolution here on the show, and you know, I don't like talking against others' beliefs, right? It's just something I'm not comfortable doing very often. But I know that, you know, from your point of view, you don't like to look at this planet and think of it as millions of billions of years old, right? That's not something that you believe as a thing. Now, Jake also is on that same wavelength, but he's actually on a much smaller wavelength, where he believes that the time frame of the existence of Earth is much less than that. So when using Jake as the example, when he hears evolution, he doesn't look at evolution as taking millions of years to process. He looks at it as something that's quicker and faster to happen. Now, another thing, too, that you have to understand, that evolution doesn't happen to the full body at a time. It happens to individual parts of the body. It doesn't happen to multiple parts of the body at a time. There's actually a process called, hold on.
And while you look that up, I just want to clarify. I do kind of believe that the Earth is super old, right? Whether you want to throw millions or billions of years as the number, fine. Okay. Like I'm okay with that part. The part that I don't necessarily agree with is evolution in that time, right? I'm more of the belief that, you know, all of the beings that are here were created here. Now, someday, this is one of those things where it's like, ask me on any day and it's different, right? But like some days it's like, hey, we were literally created by some spiritual entity, God or whatever, okay? And then other days I feel that it might just be like on some Anunnaki ancient astronaut level where like this is just a giant lab experiment where like we were literally, and all the beings were literally put here as like, whether it's a terraforming experiment or something like that. I just don't believe that there's really any evidence to say that, hey man, like fucking chickens evolved from dinosaurs, right? Or like you take your pick of the thing. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Carbon dating is faulty, right? Like Creamer was just talking last night on the podcast that they found a fossilized cowboy boot in the bottom of a river, right? How the fuck does that fossil get created in such a short period of time, right? So it's like there's problems with the dating and the times. And like it seems to me like there's a lot of inference when they're like, hey man, like this skull, you know, it kind of resembles this skull, but it must have evolved into this thing. Like that's where I have the problem. It could be that the Earth is 4 billion years old. I tend to think more like it's probably fucking infinitely old, if that makes sense.
All right. So the current belief of evolution is called the mosaic evolution concept. Mosaic evolution is a concept of evolution that doesn't describe evolution happening in a linear pattern, but rather the process of evolutionary changes taking place in some body parts or systems without changes in others happening at the same time, or even in other similar taxonomical family members, ultimately creating possible branches in evolutionary trees. This model also highlights macroevolution over the idea of microevolution as a belief that evolution favors focusing on a singular, smaller change over long periods of time rather than a larger sweeping change to the species over shorter periods of time. This would have been represented in Darwin's finches. Each different finch that was discovered by Darwin was fairly similar in their most basic of anatomy, but differed in the songs they sang, their plumage, the patterns of their eggs, and their general morphology, which included their beaks. Each beak was seemingly shaped to properly support the animal's gathering of its favorite food on the islands, such as one of the finches having a long, thin beak documented eating from a conical shaped flower. So it's it's so the concept of evolution, right? The thing is that I think that a lot of people get caught up in the term evolution, right? It's a term that turns a lot of people off. And I don't know what it is about the term that turns people off. Maybe it's Pokemon. Maybe people are like, no, fuck that. I don't like that term. I need to hear the term adaptation more because it sounds better and more adult. I don't know what it is. But the thing is that the environments that we grow up in, when we see this kind of every day, we also see this in farm animals in a much quicker aspect, right? We also see this in breeding dogs and cats. I mean, we see this happen on a much faster scale. We do this to the animals, like your kitty cat right there, right? That cat was originally an African, I can't remember, field cat or whatever they were originally bred from, right? But somewhere
like,
down the line,
is that just a version of adaptation, though?
But what's the difference between adaptation and evolution?
I think the biggest holdup for like me personally is like, if we take it all the way back, like how do you go from a single-celled organism to a multicellular organism, right? How do you go from fish deciding to like crawl up on land? Like there's no it just doesn't make sense to me, I guess.
Well, I mean, dolphins have a lot of biomarkers in their skeletal structure showing that they had legs at one point.
See, when we get into that, that's kind of where I feel like there was manipulation, right? I feel like experimentation was probably more likely, right? Because to me, that makes a little bit more sense. Like something else, or maybe it was us. Maybe we're the thing, right? You know, that's always a possibility too. Maybe it wasn't like the Anunnaki came and created us. Maybe we came here and we tampered with the environment and created all these experiments. And just over time, we've just kind of, I don't know what the word is, like at least our knowledge of ourselves is just declined, right? Like we've just been here long enough, fucking with the environment long enough that we just forget all that,
Well, here's the thing, right? Is that there is something strange that happens, right? I'm trying to keep up with the comments. I'm not a really good multitasker. I don't know if anybody's caught on to that yet. But the Moore's been saying a few things, and a question that he stated was a single cell has chosen to turn into all the life we see. And then Skeeter follows up with sperm and egg, single cells that evolve into something. Now, this also brought up a really interesting topic. You ever heard of the zinc flash?
I don't think so.
Or zinc spark? I got to bring up a video of this. This is really freaking cool. Gotta show you this. This is freaking cool. So let me bring this up.
Well, and just to respond to Skeeter's comment here, sperm and eggs, single cells that evolve into something. No, they don't evolve into something. I wouldn't say. I'd say that they combine and create something new, right? But they're like the single cell itself isn't evolving into a multicellular organism. Two single cells are combining and creating a new thing, right?
Well, yes and no, right? So a single cell can absorb organic material from something else, use that organic material to duplicate itself, right? That does happen. Cellular duplication,
sure,
right?
Fair enough. Yeah.
We learn about that in 6th grade.
I didn't pay attention in school,
but also that is the education system that is forced upon us by
Rockefellers.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
So, to take it with a grain of salt, right? But here, I got to show you this, because this is super interesting. This is something I didn't know that I just found out the other day. And this is completely off topic, but I thought this was really cool. This is called the zinc spark.
Oh yeah. I know what this is. Okay, play it though. Yeah, I know what this is.
So this is something that happens when an egg is fertilized, right? There is a spark that happens at the moment of fertilization. And like right now we're looking at this, through some sort of filter. It's like an infrared filter or whatever, right? But you can actually see this through just as something as simple as a what's the what's the thing where they look at the mother's stomach? Ultrasound, right? Like you could see it, and it's look at this.
Yeah, it's the spark of life, man. There's something else that's kind of similar to this as well. I don't know if you saw this. I saw it recently where they took like a long exposure of a human being in a completely blacked out room, and when they reviewed the film or whatever, there was literally like a light being there. Like you could see the outline of this person, but it was in light.
Say that again. What was that?
They took like a long exposure film or picture or whatever of a human being in a blacked out room, and over the course of that long exposure, when they reviewed the film afterwards, it showed like a silhouette of the person in light. So it's like we are emitting light, like we are light beings, right? And then that's kind of like an example of that as well, even from the point of conception, like there's a spark of light, right? Light. But this is something I talk about all the time too, right? Where I talk about the holographic universe, right? All information is in light. Light is the information. So, you know, new DNA codes, new DNA sequence, like you're showing there, which is what that is, right? That's the creation of new DNA sequence. That's information, and information is light. So there's something there.
The thing is, right, man, is I think this shit is absolutely interesting, right? All I can go off of is stuff that I've been taught and stuff that I've read in books and stuff that I've learned, right? With information that I've been fed. Same thing with you. Same thing with anybody in the chat. Same thing with anybody anywhere else, right? What you observe, what you filter into yourself and choose to take in from the information and utilize is the information that you'll use. But there's a whole world out there that none of us understands.
For sure.
Right? And it's fucking fascinating.
For sure.
There's some really fucking cool shit. And I'm telling you, man, one of the coolest fucking things out there is this aquatic ape hypothesis, man. It's so cool. And I understand that evolution is a tough subject. I do. Okay. But I promise you, man, I don't tend to just not, pass a stone without turning it over. Okay.
For sure. And listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not even like debating whether or not this theory. I don't know the first thing about this fucking theory, right? Like I'm gonna have to wait for you to drop the whole fucking detailed thing on it so that I can like kind of.
You can listen to the free one. The free one's out right now on Spotify. You can listen to that and get the good gist of what it's about. Right? I mean, it's a good episode. I got really good feedback from it. But like, I've learned so much about it. Like, there's so much more out there than what that episode talked about that I felt compelled to be like, yo, I really need to just do another one of these because there's so much more.
Yeah.
So much more. Like, all right, just for like an example, right? Just, I'm telling you, man, without going into the scientific evidence, because I can sit here all day long and just spit out a whole bunch of things that back up the idea, right? The gist is the aquatic ape hypothesis states that there is a shit ton of evidence, and I'm telling you that the evidence is super strong, that if you believe that evolution is a possibility, that we evolved from an ape that started off quadrupedal, instead of going out of the trees into the savanna of the the prehistoric African savanna, they went to the coast of the Great Rift Valley, where there was a ton of water at the time, right? It was a sea, a nice big sea that eventually dried out. And you're also talking about the coast of the ocean, the African coast, where we lived. We lived on the coast. We were coastal animals. We were semi-aquatic. Think otters, think seals, dugongs, walruses, that kind of thing. Okay. Because we were semi-aquatic, we developed bodies that were mostly hairless. We developed bipedalism. We developed spots of our body that are covered in hair, are the only portions of our body that face the sun. We developed a structure to our dermis that is, we have a fat layer directly underneath our skin, just like aquatic and semi-aquatic mammals, walruses, whales, dolphins. Same thing with elephants, pigs, rhinos, hippos, right? All these semi-aquatic, even pigs, right? They're not considered semi-aquatic, although they do share a common ancestor. Okay, got to believe in evolution for this one, but they are said to share common ancestors as whales, right? Believe it or not, throw a pig in a pool, they swim really fucking well. Believe it or not, Google that shit. Pigs swim really well. You know what else they need? They need mud baths every fucking day. If not, their skin dries out. They also need it to be protected from the sun, and they also use it to protect themselves from bug bites. Okay? Same thing with elephants, same thing with rhinos, hippos. Okay? They may not live in the water for a majority of their lives. They may travel vast distances on land, but they need to cover themselves with dirt or mud because they need that moisture to moisturize their skin, because it will dry out and it will start bleeding, and it could do untold damage to their dermis. Okay, what other animals need that? There's not. Okay, these animals need the water. They came from the water at some point. They share a common ancestor with whales. Okay, so if all of the animals that share a similar structure to us, because there's not another ape that has this skin, they don't have it like us. If you take your fingers, right, and you rub your forehead right here, you rub your scalp, and you rub the bridge of your nose right here, that's the same kind of skin that other apes have. Okay, they don't have any of that layer of fat underneath their skin. Basically, when you hear the stories from the Wild West, when Native Americans used to scalp cowboys, right? The reason why they can scalp them is because they don't have that subdermis fat. Okay,
so I get what you're saying, but like, what about, like, you know, you would think that if what?
No, I kind of got into like some of the evidence there. I did exactly what I said I wouldn't do.
No, it's all good. But my question would be, like, on the other side of it, right? Like, if we spent all that time in the water, where is, like, things you might expect from aquatic creatures? Like, why are our eyes on the front of our heads and not on the sides like most fish and things like that? Why don't we have more webbing in our fingers and toes? Why is there...
It's football season, and you can now get almost anything you need for game day delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a running back delivered, but you can get baby back ribs delivered. A strong defense? No. A strong deodorant? Yes. A six-pack of abs? Nope. Six-pack of beer? Yes. Get almost anything for game day delivered with Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Alcohol 21 plus and in select cities. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
On December 12th, Disney Plus invites you to go behind the scenes with Taylor Swift in an exclusive 6-episode docuseries.
I wanted to give something to the fans that they didn't expect. The only thing left is to close the book.
The end of an era. And don't miss Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, the final show, featuring for the first time the Tortured Poets Department. Streaming December 12th, only on Disney Plus.
No gills or even like
remnants
of gills.
But we weren't aquatic. We were semi-aquatic.
Sure.
There's no gills. There's no side eyes on seals, you know, or otters. They're forward-looking animals.
They can hold their, Chris was saying they can hold their breath for a lot longer than we can.
They can't, okay, you're right. But let me tell you something. You ever heard of surfer's ear?
Who?
Surfer's ear.
Sure. Yeah. Remind me, what is this?
Okay. I'm going to share my screen here in a second. Let me bring it up. Let me share. This is really fucking interesting.
The fat layer under the skin is interesting, but, you know, I can kind of think of other reasons why that might be the case, right? If evolution is the thing, right?
This right here, Jeff, this is going to probably be one of the better pieces of evidence for you. Surfer's ear, also known as external auditory canal exotosis, is a condition where bony growths develop in the ear canal, primarily caused by repeated exposure to cold water and wind. common in activities like surfing, swimming, and diving. There is a direct relation to these growths right here. Right? Can you see these right here?
Mm-hmm.
These growths and the size of them. You see this picture right here?
Mm-hmm.
These are bony growths. A direct relation to the size of these and how long or how often a human being spends submerged underwater. People who are Olympic swimmers, people who are professional divers, swim instructors, they have huge cases of surfer's ear. Huge. People who don't spend any time underwater don't have these at all. They don't. Okay? The reason why it's called surfer's ear is because it typically only shows up in people who are around water and spend time underwater, not just floating around, but with their whole head submerged under the water. Now, check this out. There has been multiple species of bipedal apes, including the Australopithecus, from 4 million years ago that have also been found with those growths. Not a single primate to this day has those growths that do not regularly dive. Primates that do have those growths. Primates that dive on a daily basis have those growths.
Okay, so what's really the big difference between the, because like, I mean, I'm hearing with, I'm tracking with what you're saying, right? But like, let's say we came out of the trees and went into the savannas, right? Okay. Let's say we came out of the trees and we went to the coastlines instead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's to say both didn't happen?
Okay.
So like, why is this so like mind-blowing to you? Because couldn't both things have happened at the same time?
Yes, it could have, right? So
because it like
the question
it would be mind-blowing if we like evolved from a fucking fish. That would be mind-blowing to me, right?
Well, here's the thing, right? We're told that we're primates. Okay? We're apes. Okay? We share certain percentage of DNA with other apes. Right? But if you look at all the other apes, how many of them look anything like us? Really?
I mean, like, there's like some similarities, right? Like,
we are drastically different looking.
Sure.
And I mean, you look at apes compared to other apes, man, and you're like, okay, these are part of the same family. You look at us compared to other apes, and you're like, all right, yeah. I mean, if you squint, maybe, and you hold it out far enough, you know, I can sort of see it, right? But we're the same. We don't have hair, man. Something went different. Something went different. That we can agree on, right?
Sure.
I mean, if let's say we followed a similar evolutionary path or adaptive path to our ape family members, we all grew up in the trees and we all came down out of the trees. Why did we not stay quadrupedal like them? What would have happened, or what didn't happen that never made us stand up? So we all came out of the trees, man. We all came out. our last common, our LCA, the last common ancestor, came out of the trees. Okay, and somewhere there we split off. Some of them stayed under the trees, and we went and did something different. Where we lost our hair, we stood up.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? And maybe it could be like what you're saying. It could also be that something manipulated the DNA, right? I mean, like I just looked this up, right? Like we share 50% common DNA with bananas.
Well, that's because we're carbon based.
Sure, we share 60% common DNA with fruit flies, right? So like, I don't know. I mean, I have no problem believing that we came out of the trees and went to the coast and we spent a shitload of time in the water. And that might be some reason for the adaptation in our bodies or evolution or whatever the fucking word you want to use for it. I have no problem believing that, right? Just like I have no problem believing that we came out of the trees, we went to the savannas and we started eating mushrooms, which expanded our consciousness, right? I can believe both of those things happened equally. Like neither one of those things is like, oh, what? Like to me, right? So I guess, I don't know. I don't know.
It's almost like it doesn't blow your mind.
Yeah, it doesn't blow my mind like it's blowing your mind.
I think it's super interesting because I'm using it as a gateway to other things. Okay.
Drugs.
Sort of. But no. So what I really wanted to get to today was in the theory of evolution. Again, if you follow it, right? Things branch off. That's basically the gist of it. So, at some point, we came out of the water again. What happened to the humans that didn't? We do have a whole bunch of weird shit that we're finding on Google Maps under the water. We are getting video proof of UFOs flying into the water.
Sure. Could it be that we were manipulated by beings that live under the water?
Yes.
Like instead of our DNA being merged with the Greys, maybe our DNA was merged with the... What was Jar Jar Binks's fucking... You don't know. You didn't watch Star Trek.
No, man, I didn't watch any of that shit.
But, you know, like there were in Star Wars, in the Phantom Menace, you know, Jar Jar... You know who Jar Jar Binks is, right? At least the character?
No.
Okay,
No.
fuck you. So... They had a whole civilization of this particular alien that lived underwater in these giant bubble cities, right? Like, they were like basically aquatic beings, but they were bipedal and like, you know, they survived on land just as well and stuff like that. So like, is it possible that they're whatever beings, maybe they've been here forever, maybe they came here long ago, but they have civilizations under the ocean and they found primates on land and decided to do some experimentation, and they are the ones that created us. Maybe it wasn't the Anunnaki from Nibiru. Maybe it was the fucking Anunnaki from the bottom of the ocean.
Maybe
that's interesting. That
maybe
I could fucking dive into. You know,
maybe. Or they're like, "Yo, look at them monkey butts. Let's fuck those monkeys."
But I don't think it would go the other way around. I don't think that we would come out of the trees, go into the water, and then create civilizations in the water.
No, we created villages next to the water, bud, semi-aquatic. Okay, then this is what I don't like about the aquatic ape hypothesis is that the aquatic ape hypothesis, even when you really dive into it, what was her name? Morgan. I can't fucking think of her name right now. But I know that the guy who wrote the book after her, Dr. something Rise Evans, he he really dove into where she fell short, right? She really, the way that she explained it, she never really split it and said, hey, just so you know, I'm calling it the aquatic ape hypothesis, but you really shouldn't look at it as if we're fucking mermaids, right? That's not what I'm trying to talk about. I'm just trying to say that we lived a more semi-aquatic lifestyle. Like, hey man, we just really lived off of like the water. Like we ate a lot of seaweed, we ate a lot of shells and clams.
I believe
and
that 100%. I mean, we literally used shells as currency for the longest time, right? And like, there's still tribes out there that survive solely on the ocean, and there's fucking tribes, people out there that'll swim and they'll do dive fishing with primitive spears like constantly. So I'm with you on that part of it. But I don't think that there's really any distinction between that and the ones that went to the savannah right now. The original question you asked is interesting. Like, why wouldn't they teach this? Like, why would they hide this from us? Like, that's an interesting question. Like, why?
Because that's why I find it interesting. Right. And you look at all this stuff that's trying to poke its way out right now. When you look at these multi-domain vehicles, right? We've talked about this ad nauseam here on this podcast about how they can go from space to air to under the water without splashing or even losing any momentum whatsoever. And then, all of a sudden somebody finds some really weird fucking looks like man-made structure under the water off the coast of Southern California, some 250 miles off the coast. And the very next day, it's just a blurred out spot, like a lot of weird shit's happening.
I could speak to that stuff though.
Right. So go ahead.
Well, we've talked about this with the Younger Dryas, right? Like during the last ice age, the ocean levels were 400 or 500 feet lower than they are now. And if and there's people who've done this in their little fucking simulations, right? They've drained the oceans down 400 or 500 feet, and the coastlines go out thousands and thousands of miles, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll take Florida as an example, right? Most of Florida is pretty much at sea level, right? But you can look at a map right now of Florida, and you can see the shallows that go out past the, Bahamas and all that stuff. So like, I know for a fact that human beings were building cities in megalithic structures, similar to what we would see in Giza or in Central America. Like those structures exist underwater right now because the water levels rose 400 or 500 feet at the end of the last ice age, right? So when we see stuff like that, what you're talking about, like, oh, what is this fucking structure that we just found? And then they blur it out. To me, that's them hiding the fact that, our human ancestors were building fucking shit long before they tell us, right? Because the narrative has been, 5,000-6,000 years ago is when we started like civilization and agriculture and like building cool shit. And then oops, Göbekli Tepe comes out and that doubles the age of civilization, right? Which was purposely buried right at the end of the last ice age, which means it was built before then, during the ice age at least, right?
Yeah.
So to me, like that type of stuff is just that. It's not, it's just like, hey man, there's shit under the water. Atlantis is everywhere. They just don't want us to know,
Well, okay. Yes.
Like Bimini, the Bimini Road?
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Right. And like the Perry Reese map?
I'm not familiar with that one, no.
So it's a map. I forget exactly when it was drawn up, 1500s or something like this. And there's coastlines. You could look this up. Look up the Perry Reese map.
I'm looking it up right now.
It shows coastlines for like Antarctica during the Ice Age, right? It shows the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah, I have seen this. Okay.
So if you look at the Bahamas on that map, it's not a series of islands as it is now. It's like one big landmass. And in the middle of that landmass, you see what looks like little megalithic structures on the map, right? Well, people like Graham Hancock have gone and done dives in the Bahamas at the Bimini Road, and there is that structure underwater, right? So that just tells me, like, for sure, that those water levels were lower and people were building in those areas 10,000+ years ago, right? So the big secret I think they're hiding from us there is the age of human civilization, right? That's like the secret they're hiding there.
But the specific one that I was talking about off the coast of California, it had like lights and shit, man.
Well, that, listen, that could be bases. I know I've seen this before. We all know about the DUMBs, the deep underground military bunkers in the underground cities that are built, right?
Yeah, of course.
And a lot of us know about the massive underground like tunnel systems that connect a lot of these cities underground, right?
Also spans the entire United States.
Right. Well, a lot of people don't know that we have those deep underground facilities under the ocean, right? Under the ocean floor. So that could be that. It could be like, oops, our fucking satellites took these pictures and oops, we caught a glimpse of something that's just a top secret facility that's under the water, so that could be the lights. It could also be the Gungans. I don't know, but
yeah,
you
brought up, by the way, if anybody is interested, Elaine Morgan was the name of the author. She wrote the Aquatic Ape Hypothesis. Her original book on the aquatic ape theory was The Descent of Woman, which is a play on of the Charles Darwin book, The Descent of Man. And then Peter Rice Evans is the doctor who wrote the Waterside Ape. This book is fucking amazing. Like, if you like biology and science and shit like that, that's a really good book for that. But you brought up agriculture, which is also a very interesting topic when it comes to the aquatic ape theory as well. So, and I mean, this is also just a fun thing to talk about, just talking about hidden history of man, right? So what does the mainstream narrative tell you when it comes to why are humans fat, right? Why do we have this subdermis fat? Well, they tell you that 40,000 years ago, humans created agriculture and we started producing grain and wheat and barley and all the shit that our body couldn't digest. And we started creating it at masses and levels of, levels that we weren't accustomed to. We were a hunter-gatherer species for so long. And now all of a sudden, all we had to do was grow it, harvest it, and store it. And then just make sure we didn't overeat or store it improperly and protect it. And we had food for as long as we needed. And we overate.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire an energy vampire. But also they're a literal vampire. And suddenly my team is spending all their time sharpening wooden stakes and buying bulk silver and rehearsing ancient chants, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant takes insights from over 1 billion professionals to create a short list of the best fits for you. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
And we got fat. That's the official why we're fat.
Sure.
Right? When it comes down to the nutshell, it's, well, agriculture did it to us. But you ever heard of the Venus, God, what are they called? The why am I drawing a blank here, man? Figurines, the Venus figurines.
I don't know, maybe.
I heard Crystal. Did Crystal ever hear of them?
Yes.
So the Venus figurines, right? Agriculture is 40,000 years old.
I feel like when you see them, you'll know what he's talking
Oh yeah, no, he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. These are the Venus figurines.
The big ladies.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Right? We've all seen these. Now, most of these, right, range from 40 to 80,000 years ago. Most of these. And these are supposed to resemble the feminine body of ancient Africa and Europe. Now, some Venus figurines. Now, I find this kind of hard to believe. I'm totally with you on this, but you can find evidence on the interwebs that some of these date back to 400,000 years ago. I don't know how true that is. I'm not going to claim its authenticity, but you can find that evidence online.
What is their evidence for that? Hopefully it's not carbon dating.
I don't know what their evidence is for it, man.
If it's carbon dating, I don't even entertain that shit anymore. You know, and then if you get into like, oh, they dug it out of a certain layer of the earth, I don't buy into that either, because you got to talk about fucking cataclysms and mud floods and all that type of shit too, which fuck up the stratum or whatever the fucking word is, right? So, dating is weird, which is another problem that I have with like evolution. It's not necessarily like I think it's impossible or something. It's just like, the only evidence that we have that, hey man, like this fossil that's fucking 80 million years old, right? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, how the fuck do you know it's 80 million years old? Because carbon dating's not fucking accurate after X amount of time.
Here's one from 280,000. I don't know which one it is, the Becquerel Ram.
Yeah. And, I say that, but also I said this last night on Shadowband, like I personally, and this is my own bias, like I enjoy thinking about the fact that human beings have been creating and like having civilizations and like inventing things for a lot longer than 10, 20, 40,000 years. Like that's chump change in my mind, right? Like I like to think that we've been doing what we're doing now for hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions of years, right? Now I know the more will be like, fucking the timelines are all skewed. We're only at fucking 500 years, whatever. That might be true too. But like, I personally just enjoy the thought of like, hey man, no, we've been anatomically the same. Even if you just take them at their word, if you just trust the experts on this and you just take them at their word, we've been anatomically the same for 250,000 years. There's no reason to think that for 250,000 years, we haven't been building pyramids, fucking agriculture, looking at the stars, like all that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm. Man, I love this show. I love talking to you, man, because you'll just say something and then something new will pop up in my fucking head. They just discovered on the surface of Mars. I know, right? You're going to love this because you don't even believe in Mars.
You mean Greenland? Go ahead.
Yeah. But they just discovered like these 3 cylindrical, perfectly spaced out structures on the surface of Mars.
If you ever took the time to watch that fucking video I showed you, bro, it would explain a lot of that type of stuff for you. I forget the word for it, but when there's an electrical arc, right, it creates like certain structures, right, in the medium that the arc is hitting, right. A good example of this is like river deltas, like that structure of a river delta, that spidering out or that tree branch type look, right? You ever seen somebody like burn a piece of wood with like those pens and they're like doing artwork on it, or like they put like two electrodes on a piece of wood and it like makes this cool like tree branch pattern, connecting the charge. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then there's also like the bubbling and like those tunnels that you're talking about. Like all of that stuff can be created through electric charge. So when you get into like, electric universe and that kind of stuff, maybe that's what that is. I don't know if it's necessarily a created structure by an advanced species, or if it's just a massive electrical discharge that slammed into a body and created those fucking.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I have no idea. I just seen it. Literally
pull it up.
Right. I just tried. I couldn't even find it.
Oh, scrubbed.
Yeah, probably.
Scrubbed.
Oh, I'm about to have a coughing fit. Why is it not muting?
Just cough in the mic, bro.
Oh. Yeah, I'm just getting over strep. Fucking went in Monday and got a strep test. Good thing we didn't record on Sunday because I was feeling like dog shit.
Damn.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I think I'm good, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to in the next few days. I'll try to go back and listen to that Aquatic Ape episode just to get a better understanding of it.
No, you're not.
I'll try. That's why I said I'll try. I didn't promise you I'd do it.
Don't fucking say that. You're not going
to try.
You're not. You're not. I believe Crystal might, but you're not.
When you manifest it that way, I guess that's what's going to happen.
All right. Well, I got some cool things to show for anybody going to UFO days. And also
Ain't nobody going to that.
What are you talking about?
Ain't nobody going to that, bro. I'm not going to be there.
Well, these are also going to show up in your little gift box anyways in February.
Yeah,
so,
cool. All right, show me.
So I got some cool little stickers, man.
Hell yeah.
Look at them. Hell yeah.
Can I get ones that say 2026 on them, since that's when I'll get them?
I'll cross it out with a Sharpie and write 2026 on it. Sound good?
Fuck yeah.
Sound good. Well, hey, if you're listening to this, right, we're going to do the same thing we did last year. If you come to the booth and you say that you've listened to the show, I don't know. Jeff, give me a number 1 through what? 228 now? Right? What episode are we on? What episode is this? Shoot.
I don't know, bro.
This is episode 227. Wow, dude, 227
So
episodes.
give you a number between 1 and 227.
Give me an episode between 1 and 227.
Want me to say it out loud?
Yes.
Oh, it's not like a magic trick?
Nope.
What? I'm going to say 11.
11. All right. So, if you show up at the booth on UFO days in Elmwood, Wisconsin, and you tell anybody working the booth that day the title of episode 11, anybody in your group will get a free sticker. One of these guys, just a standard Infinite Rabbit Hole sticker. And if you got kids, we're going to hook them up with some Infinite Rabbit Hole temporary tattoos.
Can we up the ante a little bit too?
What's that?
So I just said 11. If this is up to Jeremy, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you can name the name of the episode, 3 episodes for the 3 master numbers. I'm not going to tell you what the master number. You're going to have to go figure out what master numbers are, and you're going to have to come correct with the 3 episode names for the 3 master numbers.
Jeff said he'll come up here and he'll personally shake your hand.
He won't.
I won't do that. But
well,
you'll get a prize. Whatever that prize is, I don't know.
Whatever that prize is, Jeff said he'll give it to you.
Do you know what the master numbers are?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. I didn't even know who Jarlar Finks is.
Oh my god.
I'll just say the master numbers 11, 22, and 33.
Oh. Well, you just ruined it.
Well,
you just ruined it for everybody.
Well, now if you want the sticker, you got to come with 3. You got to come with 11,
Skeeter says it's muffins
33.
from Crystal. I agree. That's a good one.
Yeah, we'll mail them to you, and they'll be nice and moldy when they get there. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the UFO Day stickers. Those are going to be for sale. I've also got. I gotta show you these too. I gotta show you these. These are cool. We got new business cards this year. Check these things out. What? Look at that.
Sick.
Look at that. Look at that. But it's got my name on it this year because nobody else is fucking showing up, Jeff.
I told you the deal last year. I said I'll come up there, and the next time I come, it'll be after you come down here, and you guys never came down here. All right, I said that publicly. I stand on 10 toes. All right, I stand on business. All right, I stand on business.
I want everybody listening to this that's going to UFO Days in Elmwood. Just know, Jeff said that he's not coming. He's putting all of you down.
Blame Jeremy for not showing up. I stand on business.
But anyways, there's 2 people that will be at UFO Days in the chat right now that heard that episode 11 is the hot episode. You come to the booth and let us know what episode 11 is. Your crew is going to walk away with some free stickers. Your kids are going to walk away with free temporary tattoos. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll have t-shirts and hats and all the goodies. Plus we'll have the camera and the microphone set up to let you come in and tell us about your UFO stories. I mean, we got some pretty good ones last year, man. They were that one where the lady and her husband they witnessed that UFO that landed across the street, and then her husband went out there to go check it out, and there was nothing there. Like it just vanished into the ground. That was nuts.
And if you name all 3 episodes, your kids walk away with real tattoos.
Hey, there may or may not be an actual tattoo artist there.
There you go.
I may or may not be in the works of trying to work that out. But there is an infinite rabbit hole trip to the tattoo artist the following Monday that Jeff's not going to. So Kenzar, Skeeter, myself, my wife, and her friend Caitlin are going. I booked it for all of us. Too bad Jeff's not going.
Hey, send me the sketch for that tattoo. Maybe I'll get that tattoo.
What tattoo?
Whatever tattoo you got. You guys going to get matching tattoos? You going to get the logo or something?
No, we're just getting whatever we want.
Oh, I thought you guys were doing like a gay little trip or something.
No, I mean, like if you were coming, maybe we would have. Maybe we would have, but
well,
you're
never
not.
mind. I was going to say send me the sketch and I'll fucking go get it done too remotely. But now, fuck you guys then.
Huh?
I'm gonna get a shadow band tattoo.
Well, we got to put some time and effort into like a team tattoo. Like if you want to do something weird and stupid, let's like put some thought into it. You know, like let's not.
I'm gonna get an infinite rabbit hole tramp stamp.
Oh my god, please don't.
Let's fucking do it. I'm fucking down. I'm not gonna get this blue one though. Speaking of, we should next episode. Well, depending on if we have the guest on or not, we need to talk. Did I tell the story of why it's blue?
Yes, you did.
Okay. All right. Well, then never mind. All right. Jeff needs to go nighty night. He's tired. Look at him. He's all tuckered out. There may or may not be another episode before Sunday. I may try to convince Jeff to record once again because we do have to make up an episode. We will not be recording the Sunday of UFO Days, which is next Sunday, not this Sunday coming up. We will be recording this Sunday. Next Sunday, we will not. I will be busy.
For what?
Is your sister's dinner?
My sister's dinner is on this Sunday, isn't it? My sister's birthday dinner is this coming Sunday.
Oh, well, then maybe we won't be recording this Sunday. Maybe Jeff needs to tell me things.
So, I didn't even realize I'm terrible with it. We could probably do it earlier.
Well, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Jeff and I will figure this out. We have to squeeze 5 episodes in, and he'll never sleep. So there's that. All right, I'm done. Let's leave this guy so that he can go nighty-night. It was nice seeing a few new chatters in the chats today. Appreciate you showing up. Yeah, that's it.
Who was new?
Yeah, I didn't see anybody new.
Oh,
Mr. C.
Oh, Mr. C.
And sorry for coughing into the mic all night. I apologize, but it is what it is.
Mr. E. What up, Mr. E?
Who's that?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, I don't know. I can't really look at the.
Dox yourself, Mr. E. Who are you?
Well, I appreciate all the chatters, all of them. Thank you all for coming. It was fun.
Indeed.
All right. You got anything to put out? You got anything for Shadowban?
We picked it back up. You know how we do. We take a little breaks, but we've done a couple episodes, so check it out. Shadowban Pod. You know, that's all I got, brother.
All right, man. All right. Until next time, travelers. We'll see you right here in the next fork in the path of the infinite rabbit hole. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Fuck. Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the Infinite Rabbit Hole podcast. If you're looking for more of our stuff, head on over to infiniterabbithole.com, where you can find links to all the podcast players that we are available on, and even our video platforms such as TikTok and YouTube. While you're there, make sure to check out all the links for our socials and hit that follow so you know when all the new stuff from our podcast comes out. And until next time, travelers, we'll see you right here in the next fork in the path of the Infinite Rabbit Hole. Bye.
Hey, this is Chris Duffy, host of Ted's How to Be a Better Human podcast and the author of the book Humor Me, which is all about how you can laugh more, how you can build deeper relationships, and have a life filled with laughter and delight, especially this year in 2026. The book is coming out now. It is available wherever books and audiobooks are sold. If you are listening to this, you are on a device that can probably access the internet. Use that internet to search for Humor Me by Chris Duffy, buy the book, laugh more, have a great life. That's a guarantee.